Blog Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show. It is May 4th. What is it? May the 4th be with you? Yeah, I kept saying it all day on Twitter and all the social media. So May the 4th be with you. I'm not a nerd, but, you know, I saw it, so I'm saying it. Guys, you want to say hi?
What's going on, good people? It's your boy Clint. You all ready?
What up, though, folks? This is Willie Styles.
Hey, this is Etta. How y'all doing?
All right, guys, we got a great show for you guys tonight. If you're listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GFT radio show. Phone lines open up at 10:15. Phone number is 657-383-1155. If you want to join the conversation, call in 10:15. We're going to join you in. If you want to hit us up through Twitter at GST_radio. We will bring all questions and comments through Twitter on the show as we go along. Tonight's topic, we are talking about should single people give relationship advice. So before we start the topic, we want to just see how everybody's week was. So who wants to start off?
I'll start.
All right. Tanetta, go ahead.
My week was pretty interesting. So far, I'm having a good week. No drama. Thank you, Lord. My boss is out for the whole week, so I think my week going pretty go smooth for the rest of the week. But other than that, I'm chilling.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, my week, same old, trying to run the business. But most importantly, I've been trying to get my body right. So every morning I go walking at least 5 miles, you know, and my body is definitely feeling it, you know, because I ain't been doing too much working out over the past year and some change. But right about now, my back is screaming, but still going to get up tomorrow.
Man.
Yeah,
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, man. I didn't say I do them fast, but I make sure, you know what I mean, I take my time doing it. I'll be sweating because, you know, just trying to get my body back right. So
yeah, my week's been good. My daughter had surgery to get her tonsils out, so I'm just dealing with that the beginning of the week, and so she's finally eating regular food now, yay, and so not sleep at night and no more round-the-clock meds and all that good stuff, and you know, so it's definitely turning into a even better week. So it's good. It's good. Everything's going great. I'm blessed.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I know that tonsillectomy is something serious. I got mine out when I was grown, and it's different when you're an adult versus a kid. As a kid, you kind of heal fast. As an adult, your life is in shambles. So I already know what she was going through because I was going through it too. So I'm glad that she is much better at eating food now. That's great. But my week has been like a fuck you week. I don't know what the fuck is happening around my surroundings and people around me, but they're bringing their crap to me, and I'm just like, fuck this. I hate everybody. Don't talk to me no more. So I can't wait till this week get over. I'm already drinking. That's how I feel. Fuck it. That's how I feel. That sums up my whole week. Fuck it.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that sometimes. That's rough. That's rough.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to learn how to not make other people's problems your problems, but, you know, you try to help people, and you just like, and after a while it gets you, so you just like, fuck everybody, their life, fuck my life, I just want to be alone. And then you go home to your kids, so you're not really alone. So that's where I'm at with it. So, but other than that, it's been a good week. Oh, before I forget, the walk is the 13th. I know I told you guys about this on past shows about my autism walk. My goal was $200 for my team. So far, we got $275. I just sent off $30 today, and I'm hoping that I got more donations coming in the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited that we're raising money. I can't wait for the walk. That's the only positive thing this week besides the podcast that, you know,
that's good.
I'm earning money for the cause. So, yeah. So, that was my.
You already superseded your goal, right?
Well, once I put the $30 get taxed onto it, yeah. My goal is $200. If I make any more than that, it's good because it goes to this foundation. And then also with the shirts that I had made that most of us going to be walking in, those shirts are like $20 or like $14 a pop, depending on if you're buying kid size or adult size. So all that money goes to Autism Speaks. So you know how you make shirts with Teespring, you earn money if people buy them. All my proceeds are going to Autism Speaks. So when you buy a shirt, you can just, rock Team J and donate all that money to autism awareness. So definitely, none of it comes to me, guys. So if you're thinking it comes to me, it does not. It goes there. And I'm appreciative for all those who bought shirts. Some people I know bought 3 shirts because they got a couple people walking with them. So it's been good. So far we got 9 people walking, and that's not including all the children. So
that's what's up.
That's what's up. Oh yeah, that's good.
And when is the walk?
The walk is May 13th. I posted on my page on Facebook, but it's also on our podcast page. You can actually sign up. If you can't physically be there, you could be a virtual walker.
I'm sorry.
I know, right? It's crazy, but you can do it. It's
a virtual walker?
Yeah, it's basically like somebody that donates money, but just like is walking with you in spirit because they can't physically be there. That's more so people that's like either they working or they out of town and they can't come, so they can like be a part of the team without really physically being there.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll make sure to share it on my page and go to it.
Yeah. So far so good. Second year I'm doing it, so I'm really excited. But that's the only plus side to my week, other than it's payday. So you got bills.
Payday makes it better.
Huh?
Payday makes it better.
Yeah, but then you got to pay bills, and then you're like, wait a minute, backspace. I just got paid yesterday. Why am I broke today? I don't know what happened. So. But I want to introduce. I know she already spoke already, but this is Tanetta Blue. This is I met her through one of our groups. I knew her before. Like I went to school with you or something. I know that much, but I never had the pleasure of actually getting to know you. And so far, you seem like a really cool person. I'm glad you came to join us on the podcast. So this is our guest host for the night. Tanetta, please tell us about you just a little bit.
Hey again. So yeah, I'm Tanetta, and I mean I pretty much am like the Renaissance entrepreneur. I mean I work a full-time job, but I got a love for arts and crafts and cooking and just grinding. So I mean right now I have a small little business that I run. I do destroyed denim, tutus, bowls. I help with kids modeling, choreographing different shows, and just a bunch of different things. And yeah, I love it. I like doing it. It's profitable. It makes me good money, and that's my little piece of what I got. So when I come home from my 9 to 5 doing what somebody else want me to do, and kind of miserable sometimes, I get the pleasure of making my own rules in my own little world. So it's dope.
Did you have like a page or anything where they can find you?
On Facebook, it's Tanetta Blue. On Instagram, it's Tanetta Nicole. My page is open. I can't add any more friends. I'm trying to delete like the useless people, but yeah, I'm all over social media. I get a lot of support. I've been doing it for a lot of years, so a lot of people support me. And that's my story.
That's what's up. That's what's
up.
Well,
but I think you should invest in the Facebook page because that'll promote your business more.
Say that one more time.
I said I think you should do like a Facebook page because that'll promote your business more.
Well, that's what I have my Facebook now, just my regular one, but now I'm trying to transition over because as the years, this is like my 4th year really doing it and, making money. And my clientele is getting bigger, and that's what I've been recently thinking about. I need to do a separate page because it's going crazy. I wish I had a clone, but for real.
That's what's up, though. We expect to make your own money. That's what you got to do, right?
Right. You know that.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to get right into this topic. It's the best topic I could think of. I thought of this topic only because I know as women, we hear, if a single person giving another girl advice, whether it's in a relationship or not, or dating somebody, the men are always saying, well, I'm not male back, but I'm just saying, they basically tell you not to listen to your single friends because they don't know nothing, they single. they've been single for years, blah, 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 and stuff like that. And then you get the men on the flip side, you get the men that have, like, all right, bachelors, and they don't ever want to be in a relationship, and they telling their friends that they're relationship, hey, leave that girl. She acting dumper. You don't got time for that shit. You be like me and get all these pictures and blah, blah, and this and the third. So basically the topic came up, or the question came up that should single folks get relationship advice, whether you're in a relationship with someone else and then your single friend is giving you advice, or you're dating someone and they're giving you advice, whether it's good or bad or whatever. Should they be offering you up relationship advice, or is a single person qualified to give relationship advice? So what do you guys think about that? I know I said a lot, man. I'm sorry.
Who are you asking first?
I'm going to give this to Willie. Willie, go first.
Okay. So me myself, I think that there's still a little bit of wisdom out there, even with a person who's single or hasn't been in a relationship in a long time. Should they give advice? I mean, I think it's objective, but do they have the best advice? I don't think they have the best advice, but I think they can still offer some advice. I mean, they've probably been through a relationship or two. They've probably seen some bad things happen, or or maybe even some good things that they could clue you into. They may get information from their different friends who are in relationships. So I don't think it's a bad thing for single people to give advice. I just don't, I personally don't think they have probably the best advice, especially because, if they were successful, they'd probably be in a relationship. But basically I think that they may have, some tidbits to share. I think so.
What?
I mean, I honestly think it depends on the person that you're asking, first of all, and then what type of advice are you seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, I know people that are in relationships that I would never take advice from,
mm-hmm.
because they either cheating, they're either unhappy, you feel me, or they're in a relationship for just the complete wrong reason. So a lot of people that are in relationships are in a healthy relationship. So I'm not going to take advice from somebody that I see in a toxic situation. On the flip side of that, I know people who are single, who have some wisdom, and I know others who are bitter. So I'm not going to go to a bitter person, whether it's male or female, for advice. And then, like I said, it depends on what type of advice that I'm asking or that they're asking for. I'm single. You feel me? So if I have a friend coming to me telling me that they're tired of being in a relationship, just not even that they have a problem with their particular partner, that they're just tired of the relationship life and they want to be free and they want to be single, I can give them advice like, yo, from my perspective, not from nobody else's single perspective, just from my perspective, I'm like, bro, the grass isn't always greener.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Be careful what you search for. Be careful what you're looking for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, you may give up something that's good for something that's not. So most times, and then, like you said a point earlier to where, how some men be telling their boys, oh, man, don't fuck with her no more, man, leave that. I think that's overstated a whole lot. You know what I mean? Because most dudes, don't even talk like that. If anything, a nigga going to give advice, I know with my crew, if anybody have a relationship problems, we don't really give advice to each other about the relationship. We give each other advice about each other. Mm-hmm. So if I see him slipping, and like, bro, you're not handling your business, like, we talk like that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like, certain things in relationships, everybody been in a relationship, the biggest issue, like I always say, is communication.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're communicating properly with your mate, 9 times out of 10, you really don't have to go outside of that to get advice about your relationship. If you having an issue, sometimes it's more of a personal issue, and sometimes people are going through stuff personally within a relationship that their partner may not understand.
Mm-hmm.
So then if my friend comes to me and asks me for advice from that perspective, that's different. But as far as giving relationship advice, I'm not too beat on giving it or asking for it. to be quite honest with you. You know what I mean? I'd rather give advice upon the individual. So Willie telling me he having issues with his relationship, I'm gonna talk to Willie, be like, yo, what are you going through? What's up with you? You know what I mean? You can't help nobody if you can't help yourself.
Exactly.
You gotta make sure you're straight.
Yeah.
Going into a relationship. You know what I mean? So I depend. Everything it just isn't one broad answer. You know.
Yeah.
Different situations calls for different things. That's just my perspective.
Tanetta?
I mean, I agree with him to a certain extent, because the thing about it, you have different type of, for one, a lot of times when people seeking advice, it's not always about seeking advice. It's sometimes you just really need to talk about it. And the person you telling, if they already are in a bitter place, whether they're in a relationship, not in a relationship, if they're in a bitter place at the moment, nothing that comes out of their mouth is going to be positive, and it's only going to put bitterness in you and question, something that sometimes some incidents don't even be as big as people make them to be. Couples go through things, relationships happen, and sometimes, the best thing is to talk it out. It's not always about just trying to find out, to ask somebody, what should I do? What should I do? No, it's not always about what should I do. You got to sometimes just really say it out loud and talk to somebody. And a lot of people need to stop just trying to, stop automatically saying, well, if it was me, okay, fine. Sometimes you just got to listen. I think sometimes with single people, I'm halfway single, so I've got a bit of, I mean, I don't like to really give out advice, because I have my own things that I'm working on, and I'm just a good listener. So, I mean, as far as with single people in relationships, it depends on the place that person is at. And like you said, if the person is bitter, why would you even go to them?
Exactly.
We all know the type. When you go to somebody for advice, most of the time it's your close friend. So you know that, okay, you know what? All she does is man bash. You know your homegirl. So you ain't gonna go to Keisha and ask her about nothing. But you may have your other homegirl who is single, but maybe she's single for different reasons, not because she can't keep a man, but maybe she just is single because she's trying to get her own stuff together. And sometimes that's what it takes. You got to know yourself and know the negativity that you have in yourself and know your shortcomings to even begin to move forward with somebody. So I just feel that it all depends, like you said, on the person and where that person is at mentally at that time. If they're in a bitter place, they're going to give you bitter advice. If you got somebody who's in a happy place, I'm all for to work it out. So you come to me, I'm like, oh, no, you don't think we could get past this? I'm all for that. I'm all for working it out and talking it out.
Right.
I am. I'm all about, I don't like anger, and I really try my hardest not to really judge and I don't really like it. I just rather us just talk about it. And with females, I mean, especially once you get 30 and over, you get a glass of wine. Before you you saying little things, you outweigh the good, the bad. You got your own advice. You know what you need to do.
Exactly.
You know what you're going to want to deal with and what you're not going to deal with. So
yeah, me personally, I would say like you said, who you're talking to, who to talk to, who not to talk to, and it kind of segues into the other question I want to ask. But I want to finish my thought before I get to that point. I think, like you said, who you're approaching, who you're asking these questions to. Sometimes you want people to listen, but then you got to look at it from the flip side. If you over there, every time you talk to your girlfriend or your guy friend or whatever the case may be, and you're venting about your relationship and it's all bad or it's predominantly bad, any advice they give you is because they seen you, all they see is bad. So if you telling this person, oh, he did this or she did that and she did this, and this, and none of it is good, and you go to them advice about that same person, that's where you cause a lot of problems, because they're not going to give you advice. They're going to go look. They're not going to give you advice just on that one thing. They're going to go back to every little thing you ever said to them.
Right.
And who wants to have a conversation when you had a conversation like, oh, well, just right now, this, that, and the third, they bring up all that stuff, and it's like they're throwing it back in your face. And sometimes people don't want to hear all that. They just want advice on that one question, and they go back to the whole, let's take a trip down memory lane. Remember when he did this, remember when he did that, and blah, blah, blah.
That's true. You better
add something real quick?
That's a. Oh, go ahead, Clint.
I just want to add something real quick on that. See, but you gotta be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
You see, with some people, let's go back to that bitter statement that I made. You know, some people are bitter, but also some people are truthful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't like to hear the truth, no matter what. That's why I don't never really give relationship advice. And that's my problem too. Yeah, because if you ask me something, you know what I mean, and it sounds stupid, like this is what whenever a female, like this is what irks the hell out of me.
That's because I didn't ask you questions.
I know, but whenever when a female come to me and she asks me something, or even because I've really never had this issue with my male friends, but a female come to me and she talk about her man cheating, right? I don't want to hear no more rest of the conversation. First of all, you know what I mean? Because anything after that you are allowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you have an issue with him cheating, just leave. If you're not going to leave, then don't come complain to me. I don't want to hear that shit. You feel me? Like that shit is ridiculous. Like,
and that's funny because
that's male or female. Like, if somebody cheating on you and you're upset and it upsets you, leave. Like, it's real. You know what I mean? It's not complicated. Oh, I'm gonna get mad at him. I'm gonna cheat on him too. Like, what? For what? Why do you want to invite all that chaos?
And that's the type of friend I am. I have my friends. They ask me for advice, and I don't like to give advice because first of all, I'm an asshole. That's for one. But like, I'll give it to you straight, raw, and uncut. Like my first question is, why are you dealing with that? And they're like, no, because no, you don't have to deal with that. Like, you don't have no kids by this man. Y'all ain't living together. Like this, like nothing. Not even if you have kids by them, because I think that's what irks me the most about a lot of the not friends or females that I know that ask me for advice. Okay, so you deal with this dude, whether you got pregnant by him, sleeping with him, had a kid with him, whatever. They just all want to be alone, but he's doing X, Y, Z. You can leave him. You don't have to be with him because you have kids. And that's one of the main things. And that's why when I was like my situation, and when I was in previous and times before, people get pregnant and they think they got to deal with this. Like, this guy could be cheating on them, doing all this stuff. And he's like, oh, well, we have the baby and I'm trying to work things out. I don't want to be alone. You don't have to be alone. He's still responsible for that kid, whether you with him or not. And people get lost up in that and they accept a lot of things. And I've told friends. Like, I told friends and family members, like, I straight up tell you, like, you keep telling about this dude and this, that, and third, you still with him? I'm going to say to you, whenever he do whatever he do, don't come tell me because I don't want to hear it because you still with him. At that point, he is winning because if he's sleeping with another bitch, doing whatever he want to do, and you still allow him to come back, you accept that. So at the point, he not hurting me. I don't got to live with that shit because I don't got to deal with it. You dealing with it, but guess what? I don't want to hear that shit because you still with him. So don't tell me about something repeatedly. Ask me for my advice. I give it to you, and you don't take it. Don't even heed it. Don't think about it, nothing. And you still with this dude, and you still want to say, well, what was me? I don't want to hear that. I'm done. I can't deal with you with that. So you can talk about everything else except for his ass because I don't want to be a part of that conversation. And I've done that. People are like, oh, you don't want to talk about him. No, I don't. As soon as you bring his name up, excuse me, I don't want to talk about him. Move on to the next subject. That's just how I am. And I've been that way. Because I don't want to be a part of that.
I won't ask you for advice.
Yeah, I mean that.
Huh?
I won't ask you for advice.
Right. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that does complicate matters when there's that extenuating circumstance like the cheating, the mistrust, the abuse. Abuse is a big one to me. Is people who allow themselves to be abused in a relationship, but they're trying to work out something else in a relationship, and it's like that wasn't that enough. Like you should just walk out of that relationship.
Right.
And then back to Clint's point about people remembering and bringing up things is that I think sometimes people in a relationship, when they're looking for advice about something other than what they told you about in the past, sometimes they've done the forgive and forget, but they don't realize that their friends aren't going to
not forgive and forget.
Exactly. They're not going to forget as well, especially with women. Most of the time, women will bring up to you like, hey, remember when he did X, Y, and Z to you? And, the female that's asking for advice she might be trying to forget those things, saying, I forgave him for that. Let's move on. But your friends aren't always going to move on. The people you're asking for advice aren't always going to move on. I mean, I myself, I've still giving people advice or try to give them options in a situation. If it's not like cheating or abuse, I'm like, if you want to forgive and forget, that's fine. But just remember what you've gone through. You still have to think about the history. But I'm willing to give some advice because some people just need somebody to either listen or to bounce stuff off of, to not feel alone. That's the one thing some people are looking for. They're looking for affirmation that they're not alone in this, that they aren't going through unusual or something that can't be solved. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can probably overreact to something too, and some people will realize that and say, hey, maybe I should ask my friend, hey, what do you think about this? Because they want to see what your reaction is, and if your reaction is the same as theirs, then they can say, hey, she thought the same thing or he thought the same thing, versus, you might say, oh, that's nothing. Like, everybody go through that. And then they'll be like, oh, wait, okay, well, maybe I overreacted, or maybe I am, maybe I went too far, with it, that kind of thing. I mean, and you see that with people who are kind of high strung and that are in relationships where they have, maybe a quick temper, or maybe they, quick to distrust, or they might have been in a bad relationship, and so now they're putting that bad relationship onto the new relationship, and so now, they're ruining the new relationship because they don't want to be hurt like the last relationship was, right? And so you see that a lot, and so usually they just need that confirmation that, no, this is something that can be fixed, or this is something that you should overlook, or whatever the case may be, or you're just not alone. Yeah, it's bad, but you need to do X, Y, and Z to correct it, or to help that person help you correct it.
Yeah, because I'm like that. I'm like that with reactions. When something happens and I react, I like to, because I know how I can be sometimes. Sometimes my reaction is just a little bit different than other people expect, or maybe it's what should happen. So I like to ask people like, yo, this happened, and this is my response. Because I know how I am, and I want to make sure that, like you said, I don't overreact, make a big deal out of something that's not a big deal. Sometimes you need confirmation that you're not crazy, because you know how something happened, you're like, what? No, wait a minute. Let me tell you what happened. Like this, because I know I ain't tripping, right? You will be tripping too, right? Yeah, girl. And it's like, okay, because I thought, because sometimes you think that you overreact to something, and it's like, no, your reaction is perfect. And sometimes, so that's like, and that goes back to what Tanetta pointed out. Sometimes you want people to listen and just hear what you're saying. And like you said, sometimes you want confirmation whether or not you reacted properly. If you were offended, you were offended with just, and it wasn't like you took things out of context. Because sometimes people hear, like you say to somebody, they can hear what they want to hear and not hear what you were saying. So,
And can I make another point?
Go ahead.
You have to realize there's a difference between men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we totally forget that sometimes. Like, we're different. We're not the same. We don't react to things the same.
Right.
Or we don't deal with things the same. For instance, like most of my male friends, like, the issues in their relationship are really, are all similar. Either they complain about, man, she don't take responsibility for nothing, or she too overbearing, or something. It's real big. It's real common. You know what I mean? And like Tanetta pointed out, sometimes they really not even looking for advice neither. They just looking to vent too. You know what I mean? Men want to vent too. You feel me? And we vent a certain way. So sometimes it's like, man, they just want to get away from the bullshit that they're dealing with at home. They ain't really looking for advice. You know what I mean? So I know more so when I'm dealing with a female friend, she really want to talk it out more. She want much more feedback. You know what I mean? So it's different. I agree. It's different when you're dealing with the two. So when you ask that question, it goes back to what I said. It depends on the person, but it also depends on the gender as well. And then also another point that I wanted to piggyback off Willie said, what Willie was talking about earlier when we was talking about, people in relationships. Sometimes we all know, have anybody ever that's in a relationship come to ask you for advice and you looking at them like, are you serious?
Yeah.
That's why I say you can't always say that, oh, go get advice from people in a relationship, or people in a relationship have the best advice, because sometimes the questions they ask you, like, you don't even know what you're doing. in this relationship. Y'all just, you know what I mean, there. You feel me? So I really don't want to, I'm not going to come to you for advice after I see what you go through. And then something what Tanetta said, you know, you got to know, like say me and Willie real close. I know what type of females Willie like. Willie know what type of females I like. So if he's in a relationship with a female, with a type of female that he know I will never deal with it. Why would he come to me for advice? You feel me? It'd be stupid for him to come to me for advice because I'm already look at him like, bro, you know I wouldn't put up with that shit. So why would you? You already know how I'm coming. That has nothing to do with being bitter. That has nothing to do with being angry. That's just not the type of woman I like.
Right.
So if you trying to ask me for advice on how to deal with that, I can't help you, bro. Because I would have been left that. You know what I mean? Not to say anything's wrong with what he likes or anything like that. That's just not what I like. And if I'm dealing with a female that he wouldn't necessarily deal with, I couldn't go to him for advice either because he wouldn't know how to deal with that because he don't like that. He would have been that. You know what I mean?
I have a coworker who, I mean, we're pretty close, and I mean, just basically exactly what you just said. She stopped now, but she has a certain situation that I'm like so strong on. Some people are just toxic. There's no working it out. And I tell her straight up, she finally got the hint. She comes to me like, I'm like, you already know how I feel about that situation. Next. There's no need for me to even, it take me to a bitter place. I don't even want, because I'm not even, like you said, I'm not even dealing with that, what you've been dealing with, please.
Yeah.
You know, you just get to a point where you know what you're not dealing with. So if I know I'm not dealing with what you're dealing with, there's no need to ask me for advice because the only advice I have is I'm moving on.
Yeah.
There's no secret because you already know the outcome of what you're dealing with. I'm like, bro, I've been there. Nah, I'm good. I'm good on that.
Yeah, and that's one thing. That's one thing that bothers me. You get people that deal with the same type of person for years. Like they've been with this person for years. This person ain't been shit from the beginning.
Right.
Like from the beginning. Now y'all getting mad. You thought this person was going to change, and they the same person they was when they showed you who they were through the entire relationship, and now you want to be like, oh, I can't deal with this. You've been. Why? And that's one thing I don't understand. When people get relationships with people, they know how this person are. Like what this person is. It can be something like this person just ain't never got their shit together. They've been fucked up their entire life. Man, they just since they was adult, they just ain't never had their shit together, and they just still with them like I don't know how they can get shit together. He never had his shit together, so he ain't about to start. Like why start now? All of a sudden, now today I'm gonna get my shit together. It doesn't happen that way. Or you get the females that just that's chaotic and just extra drama. It's just a whole bunch of extra, and you're like, oh, I can't do a female like that. You've been dealing with her since you met her.
Right.
Like she was crazy while she was pregnant with. Like she was crazy before she got pregnant. She's pregnant. She's crazy. After now, you in and out of court, and you wondering why. Like what's happening? You still fucking her? She's crazy. She's been crazy. Why are you asking me this? And I get that from male friends. Do y'all think
it's a difference between giving advice to married couples?
No, because if some people
regular couples.
No, because I don't give advice to anybody because I know I give unfiltered. So when you come to me, you already know. Like, and that's why I want people to be the same with me. If I ask you for advice, I would want you to be unfiltered. So whether you're married or not, if you come to me with advice, I'm gonna just give you how I feel about the topic, and either you're gonna take it or you're not gonna take it. But don't ask me if you don't want the answer.
I'm asking, should a married couples, because I think marriage is separate. I forgot to point that out.
Okay.
Like, I don't think married couples should come to, regular people that's in relationships for advice.
They got to be real married couples, not the street married.
I agree.
Right.
I agree. That didn't get married for the wrong reasons, but because I take marriage seriously.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like I don't respect anything outside of that. Once you get married, you feel me?
That's different.
That's different to me.
Now, I guess that would, and I was actually going to say this separately, but to kind of answer your question without giving too much away on my next question is that I think that sometimes you when you go to someone and you are married, sometimes you can get good advice from people who have experience. Now, if they're currently in a relationship, if they're currently in if you're currently in a relationship, or if you're previously in a relationship, or whatever the case may be, but your experiences have given you the information or the knowledge that you can pass on, I think that's helpful, right? So I think if you're going to go to somebody who's not married currently, but they've been in a relationship or several relationships, maybe maybe they're therapists or something like that, then I think that you can still get good information. Do you put your whole dependence of your relationship on that person? Maybe not. If they're a professional, that's one thing. But if they're not, then that's something different. Then you definitely don't want to hinge that on that person that's not a professional. But I mean, the information is out there, right? There's information that can come from anyone on any subject, and sometimes you have to filter out the good from the bad. You can't take everybody's advice, because everybody has their extenuating circumstances. Everybody has their different experiences. If it fits you, then it fits you. And can you tell the difference? Some people should be able to tell the difference. Some people can't. So, I mean, it just depends. So, but I think that there's not anything wrong with saying, hey, such and such said X, Y, Z, so I'm going to try this, but they're basing it on the fact that person was in a marriage or had, maybe they were in a marriage and, it didn't work out because of something else. It could be, maybe it wasn't cheating. Maybe it was financial. Maybe it was they had a drinking problem and they couldn't get rid of the drinking problem, so their spouse divorced them, because that happens, right? You have different extenuating circumstances. Not every failed relationship is a complete failure. You see what I'm saying? It could be one thing that caused the breakdown of the relationship, and it allowed that relationship to fail or to be broken apart. So you have to understand where they're coming from in order to be able to accept that advice, or that you should accept that advice or go to them for advice on your marriage.
All right, guys, hold on. We got a caller, okay?
All right.
Caller, you're on the air. What's your name and where you from?
This is Alex from Trenton. What's up, guys? How y'all doing tonight?
What's good?
Hey, Alex.
What's good? Yeah, I just wanted to give my little 2 cents on the topic. I think one thing from my perspective that the difference between men and women, as far as the way we go about receiving and taking advice, is a little bit different. Also, it just goes down to the way we wired. Like, obviously, women are more emotional, men are more logical. So, like, say with women, a lot of times when they get advice, it's and especially if it's something like, to say the person they getting advice from, they've been in like a similar experience, and it was an experience that wasn't too good. I ain't gonna say 9 times out of 10, but the advice they're going to give you is going to be based off of emotion. So a lot of times, if it could be just an argument, they're going to be like, well, they're going to compare it to their situation. Well, I went through the same thing, and they're going to expect you to have the same result that they had. When that's not necessarily the case. As a lot of times with men, we could be in the same experience. We just going to be like, well, bro, this is what I think, and we're going to leave it at that. We ain't going to tell you to make what move to make. We're just going to be like, this happened to me, and you take it from there. Yeah. So the way we go about things is different. And a lot of mistakes men and women make is we look to older folks to get advice all the time. So we think, they older, they more experienced. But like I said, a lot of times the advice they give us, it'd be basking in animosity from their situation, because they're comparing it to what their end result is. So sometimes they give you the worst advice, especially with women, because like say you go to your 45-year-old aunt, 50-year-old aunt, she ain't married, she done had like 5 boyfriends. You already know the advice she coming at you with. So and then you think, that's my OG. She know what she's talking about. You want to take that advice and run with it, and that might not even be the right advice for your situation. So, like one of the gentlemen said earlier, you got to pick and choose what advice you run with. So, that's a little bit of the difference between us from my point of view.
Okay, well, I want to get to the poll question before you go, Clint. Can I get to the poll question real quick? Because everybody kind of touching it a little bit. We did a poll question on our Twitter page at GFT_radio. we asked, who do you think gives the best advice? We got the results are 20% of the people said men, 10% said women, 60% said married or older couples, and 10% said single. So what do y'all think of that?
Going off
those
couples
options,
told me don't get married.
What?
Yeah, that's
I know
true.
married couples that told me that don't get married. So like that's why I say like that poll or like that whole question is loaded. Like it's too many layers to life to just give one.
Yes, but it was fun. It's an open-ended question. And somebody said, "What about divorced folks?" Somebody else said Jesus. So
Right. Right.
If you take the question for face value, I'm going to go with married couple.
I think.
What, Alex?
I said, if you take the question for face value, I'm going to go with the married couple just because, you can say they've been there, they've done that. So they've been through every situation. They've been through the boyfriend, girlfriend. They've been to the, all right, I'm thinking about taking that leap to actually taking that leap. So, they've been through every stage. So I guess you could say they give the best advice just off face value. But like Clint said, it's a lot of layers to that. So.
All right.
Now, Willie, as a married man.
I'm going back to listening. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Alex.
Bye, Alex.
Willie, now, what was your thoughts on that one? Because he said he would take advice from a married couple.
So like you said, I think it's an open-ended question, and I think that people are choosing that married or older couple option because they're looking for the experience. Remember how I was saying it's really about experiences. So and that was the one thing that I had thought about later was like we didn't include divorced, right? So you have people who are experienced in relationships, experienced in love, experienced and going through things from good relationships, bad relationships, everything in between. And so you'll usually find that in a married couple or in an older couple who've gone through that. You know what I mean? So I think that's why people are saying, they would rather get the advice from them because they feel like they'll get the most experienced information versus somebody who's inexperienced or young or single and bitter or who's only had relationships that have failed, that kind of thing. So but that was going to be my point, is that there's relationship experts out there, right? We see them all over TV, we see them in newspapers, we see them all over the place. And I was trying to look up some information. It was kind of hard to try to Google it. But what I did find is I found an article where there was 9 different relationship experts, and they were giving advice. The thing was that all of those relationship experts, being experts, were all divorced. So it's like, but the thing was is they're giving the way that they're counseling their married couples that they give advice to is they're counseling them through the experiences. Well, through the experiences that they've had as a married person previously. I'm sure some schooling is involved in that, some additional experience with other couples that they've done therapy for. But can they be a legitimate or good source of information? I would say yes, they still can be because they have the experiences, right? They've gone through it. They've seen the ups, the downs. They just happen to have had that failure, and now they can speak from experience and say, this is what I went through, this is what I gone through, this is what I've seen, and if I could do things differently, this is how I would do them. Take it at face value, but most of those people are usually still either pro marriage or pro committed relationships because they see the value in them. They wouldn't be couple therapists if they didn't, you know what I mean? So there's not everybody that's been in a relationship and that failed is bitter about relationships, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's good too to be able to go to somebody like that who's impartial because like I said, when you're talking to your friends, you give them the good and the bad and the ugly. Usually you're giving them the bad and the ugly, and they're remembering that stuff, and they're giving you advice based on that history. Like, Remember when he, didn't pay the light bill that one day, or remember that time when he didn't pick up the kids in school and you had to do it, and X, Y, and Z, and so then they build up this history on your relationship, and now they're giving you advice based on that, and sometimes you don't need that. You need, because those little things, you might have forgiven that person, and now you need to move on, but you need advice on this one particular topic right now. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that, because J. Rowe was the one that brought up the divorce thing. What about divorced people? Because, he was married, he got divorced, and he is now remarried. And as a friend, I was present for the first marriage, and I never got the pleasure of meeting the first wife, but he got divorced. I kind of knew a lot of stuff that they went through. And then I met the new wife. I think, and I said to him, I think she's a perfect fit for you. Like I said, I watched him in a place where it was a lot of frustration and a lot of stuff he was going through. And then I watch him now, and it's this person that he met now, I think she's a better fit for him. And so, I look at it like, when I see people that are married or were married, a lot of people that were married and no longer married or divorced, they like, I don't ever want to get married again. And to see somebody that got married, went through this crazy divorce, still going through hiccups here and there, but decided that and found love again and got married and still believed in getting married and stuff like that, because once somebody gets scorned, a lot of people don't want to go back and get married again. They'll probably date, but they'll probably never get married. And to see somebody like that get married and be happy now, and it's like, wow. So, I would take advice from him, because he's been through some things. He's been through the storm, the weather, and all that stuff, and now he's happy again. I probably want to ask for advice while he was in a better place, but now I see him happy. I would say, hey, well, what's this? I ask my male friends questions about relationships that I'm going through, or stuff I'm going through, and I ask them for advice. I ask them for advice because I know how men are. They'll give you, they'll give you some real stuff. They won't give you no fake made up and go. Make it better. They be like, no. They'll give you to you even if you don't want to hear it.
False. Niggas will give you some bullshit. False.
Well, it depends. It depends on who you ask.
False. That's what it always goes down to. Or it depends on the person, because a nigga would. It depends on the female. Because
if he's trying to get you cheap, he's not going to be. He's not going to give you good advice.
Right. Yeah.
That's debatable too. That's debatable too. You feel me?
He might be trying to guide you to a special place.
Yeah. You feel me? My thing is, it might be. It depends.
I heard that on the podcast before, though.
You got to be careful of people's intentions.
Right.
You understand? Say for instance, all right, we doing a show, right? Or say for instance, me and Tanetta, we're in a relationship or whatever, and she go to Willie for advice, but me and Willie got business together. It doesn't got nothing to do with sex or nothing. And Willie's eyes, Tanetta could be fucking up the business. Me and a being a really, he can be he could feel like she fucking up the business. So if she go to him for advice, he may steer her in a direction to where, to get her out the picture so business could continue to flow. I just say it that way because I ain't want to get into no street shit. You feel me? But that goes on in the hood all day. You feel me? If a motherfucker feel like you in the way, this nigga done fell in love now, fucking up the money he ain't. She go to that same nigga that feel that way for advice, even though he may be a good nigga in any other circumstances, but you fucking up the money, he may try to steer you in the wrong way.
You already know you really that bitch.
Yeah, you gotta know that. You gotta know somebody's intention. But back to that poll question, you feel me? Like Willie said, I think the married, picking the married, I think that's just a safe answer. I think that's why everybody picked it, because we're trained that way. That's what that's what's right in society. Or the married couple, they should know better. You know what I mean?
Right.
That
I feel like they
that's
should know.
yeah, you know. So that's how we feel we train. But I always say,
and then too. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I always say compare it to parenting. You know, like what you take of, you know, somebody like you see a mom. You know, somebody may see her all the time and may just see that mom with her kids all the time, right? And may say, wow, she's a good mom. But you may know her. You may know her. And you may know just because the kids with her all the time don't mean nothing, because she's an ain't shit mom. She let them kids do whatever they want. You feel me? She don't discipline them. She don't teach them nothing. You feel me? So should I go to that person for advice because they're a mother, and or because they're a parent and I'm looking to be one, or you're looking to be a mother? Should you go to her for advice, not knowing, just because she's a mother? You know, that's the same thing with relationships. Just because you see something from a distance, you don't know what's going on. So you can't look at that, well, okay, they're married, they should know what's going on. Like, nah, it's not always the case. It's not always the case. You feel me? Choose, just like we always say, choose your friends wisely, choose your role models wisely as well.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, some people look at some of the older couples, the ones that have been in relationships for a long time. They sometimes look at them mostly, you know, to say, hey, you know, if they've been in a relationship for, you know, 20 years, 30 years, that kind of thing, that they, you know, they have the secret, right? They have the secret sauce to this whole recipe, and they'll definitely, you know, push for information or advice or whatever from those kind of people. You know, like you said, you really don't know, because you think just because what you see on the outside perception, right? You know, the perception of a 30-year relationship is that it must be working. You know, they could be, you know, 10 years from almost just killed each other or whatever it is.
Exactly.
You don't really know. You really don't know. But, you know, I mean, I guess it still says something that they're together, and so you feel like they might know some stuff that you don't, you know. So, like you said, it's what's in our mind that makes the, you know, or what we're trained or what we think our perception is what causes us to think that that's the good place for the advice to come from.
Now I'm telling y'all got me looking for that podcast I listened to, because of what Clint said about the not trusting, like not guys. You get to ask the guys like they don't be giving the truth and depend on their motive. Because I was listening to a podcast and I can't remember who it was, and they were saying how, you know, it was that male friend that the girls would go to, and you know they basically like the girl and they try to slide in. They'd be like, oh, give me a hug. Oh, he ain't shit, and then give him a hug and then slide a dick in. So it popped in my head. I don't know why. But I laugh because I'm like, sometimes you got to realize who you're talking to, because they might be trying to get you. And, you know, you might not think it's nothing, and all of a sudden you know, I may have fell victim to that one point in my life. But, you know, it happens. But, you know, you get caught up and you think that this person really, what?
Women, a lot of times we look to get advice from men because we feel like the man is going to definitely tell us what we could do to make our man happy, to make our man want us. We got to do exactly what this man that's my friend or who I know, you know, is going to tell us. And, I mean, maybe they going to, you know, tell us some stuff, but, again, like you said, you got to know who you know who you're talking to. But we look to men a lot of times for, especially if we got a male friend in our lives, which I do. I have a bunch of male friends, and I have, you know, they pretty good dudes, but I don't really like to ask from a male's perspective, because with men, they are so different when it comes to personalities and different things. So, but we automatically be like, I know he's gonna give it to me. My friend gonna tell me what I should do so I can make. You know, we look for that validation, and it's not always a good thing.
Yeah.
And I know, you know, some of us men know how to compartmentalize too. Like, you could ask, like, a female friend, even if I want to touch you inappropriately, you can still come to me for advice about your relationship, and I won't let the fact that I will want to touch you inappropriately affect the advice I give you.
Hold on, guys. We got another caller. Caller, you on the line? Hello?
Lost the call.
Uh-oh.
They still on the line. Hello?
Oh, maybe they were just listening in.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them back on. All right. Yeah, I guess hopefully they dropped the call. But yeah, definitely. I mean, that's how some females like that. We got male friends that we think are cute, and they come to us with advice. Hey, babe, let me ask you a question. He's like, okay, yeah, she ain't treating you right. Okay, come here. Let me show you something. Nah.
I have female friends give me bad advice simply because not that they even want to do anything with me, that they just ain't like the person I was dealing with.
Exactly. Oh, I've done that. You
feel me? So that's why I say, like, you always got to question somebody's intent and motive. You know what I mean? Everybody say actions speak louder than words. I don't really respect actions because actions, we get fooled by actions all the time. That's how so many females ended up getting cheated on. You feel me? They keep saying this, I believe, actions speak louder than words. Well, he's showing you his actions. You love me the whole time. You just was blind to it. You feel me?
Yeah.
He deceived you with his actions. That's what happened. His words didn't fool you. He deceived you with his actions because you didn't know his intent or his motive. You didn't take the time out to figure that out. You feel me?
All right, guys, hold on. The caller called back. Hold on. I think they want to join us again. Hold on. Caller, you're on the line.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
What up, everybody?
J-Ro!
What's good? Bro, what's good, baby?
What up, what up?
I do that voice.
Yeah,
that's an odd
what's
number,
happening,
though.
everybody? It's J-Ro. I'm over here, chilling out in one of the Americas right now, Central South America, getting my U.S. Army on.
Salute.
How are you?
Everything's good. Everything's good. I'm trying. A couple of days. I've been going for a little bit too long, but trying to make it back home. Be back in the States. I need to be back with my people.
Okay, so what you think about the topic tonight, big bro?
I'm not even gonna lie, man. I'm just now tuning in. I was on hold. So I didn't even hear the show. Can't even front.
We're talking about should single people give marriage advice. Oh, the call dropped. Yeah, we'll call back. Yeah, he away, so his call is probably different.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard from him in forever. I feel like, oh my God, that's my homie. I've known him forever.
I remember my boy last month got married, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at his wedding, at the reception or whatever, I believe it was his grandmother that got up, and she said, kind of what we're talking about tonight, that if y'all ever have issues within your relationship, don't go looking for advice from nobody that's not married. And that's what made me bring up that point earlier about I think marriage is different.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So I just want to reiterate that everything I'm saying now, I really don't, it's different when we talking about married couples. Like my opinions change when we really talk about married couples, to be quite honest, because I hold them, because like I said, you feel me, when you take those vows, I always believe when you take those vows, that's for life. Through sickness and health, to death do you part. You got to mean that. You got to mean that. So. And
that's how I feel. I think a lot of people, and that's one thing that I have a problem with, like, especially when it comes to friends and stuff. A lot of people getting married for all the wrong reasons, so I don't want to be, like, and that's why I said, like, if I get married, bitch, y'all going to know I'm shouting I love this man to the mountaintop, in the roof and back. He's just going to know about it.
But they can't come to you for advice with somebody that you with relationship, like, you don't know that bond. If you haven't been married, in my opinion, like, that's a special bond. So, like, I can't fathom if them coming to somebody else for advice that never had that type of bond, because it's more than just love and light.
It's a communication. It's everything.
Yeah, but it's one. Everything is like y'all literally become one. You feel me?
Can I ask y'all a
So
question?
every action it's like a child. Like, you know what I mean? You have to think of them with everything you do. You just can't go off on a tangent on your own. Like, you know what, I'm gonna do this today. You know, and like, nah, you gotta let your husband or your wife know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily like that in a regular relationship. You feel me?
Yeah.
Is at any given time, you feel me? You can wake up and just be like, you know what? I'm out. You feel me? That simple. Like, really that simple. You know what? I'm out. You know what I mean? I'll holler at you. You feel me? And you don't never have to talk to that person again, especially if you ain't got no kids. You feel me? You really can't do it. You know what I mean? In a marriage, it's different. You really just can't get up and just, you can, but it's like, that'll be weird. That'll be some weird shit.
Okay, bro?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, your thoughts?
I don't know if y'all spoke about it, but I have saw like the poll that y'all had put up, and I had actually made a comment of when y'all was saying like who gives the best advice about, you know, y'all talking about single people, married people. Anybody ever say anything about divorced couples, divorced people?
Willie did. Willie brought that up. I told them about what you said in the poll.
Yeah, I was mentioning about the experience.
Like,
you know, the biggest thing is people having experiences, and that's where you get the good advice is from the experience.
That's where I was going with it. You know, like divorced people, you know, they go through things. You know, they know what to do, what not to do. They might not have the best advice, but they can tell you like what not to do, like what led up. Everybody's situation is different, but you know, theirs could tell you like what led up to their issues, what you can do, what you shouldn't do, things like that. When it comes to relationship advice, that's where I was thinking about.
Right.
Exactly. I kind of talked about
That have been quiet. That have been quiet.
I'm
yeah.
here. I'm here.
She's taking in all these experiences.
Yeah.
Right. Different to the poll, I really can't say it's you know, who should give advice. I mean, if you coming from a place of, because I'm only coming to someone I care about. If you coming from a place of love and you listening to me, and I'm, you know, most times I'm giving, you know, if I'm going to someone, it's something really serious. You know, single, married, divorced, whatever experience, I just, you know, listen to what I'm saying, you know, and just sometimes, you know, the advice that you're giving, you know, try to figure out a solution. What can we do to move past it? So, I mean, I don't know. I guess I would check the box of other.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't narrow it down because I really don't care if you think, you know, I really don't care of the status. And, you know, you're right. A lot of people, we do go to the married people or the older people because we know they have experiences, which is true. But as I've gotten older, it's a lot of older people that is toe up.
Y'all remember that one episode, Young Fools Turn to Old Fools?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's true.
And there's something about the 45-year-old aunt, you know, it was funny because when you think about that, we have older aunts and we always think they got it together. And now that I'm older and my aunts who I thought was so cool, you know, they're now, you know, that they're them aunts. And it's like, yo, and now I'm really knowing what's happening. I'm like, dang, they ain't got their shit together. It's like that.
Right.
It really is. And it's kind of sad because we all get hype, you know, get caught up in the hype and the other people got going on, and nobody wants
but
to really.
That still don't mean they can't give you good advice, though. I don't want to. That still don't mean they can't give you good advice.
But I think people get
they
caught
might be
up
able to give you
on
advice,
age.
but it might not be good advice.
Yeah, I think people get caught up on the age and they get lost into if you're older, you're wiser, and some people just fools.
Yeah, exactly. They're just
they could tell you what not to do.
Exactly.
So they could tell you
by
what
their
not
actions.
to do. Yeah, it's not even just by their actions, by them knowing their actions. You think your aunts or your uncles that's older, they don't know when they fucked up? I got little brothers.
Right.
You feel me? First of all, like I got younger brothers. I'm the oldest of 8. You feel me? I'm the oldest. I don't by much. My the closest brother to me, he's 16. You feel me? I'm about to turn 34. You feel me? So it's a big gap. So you can't tell me that I can't tell him where I fucked up at, so he can't avoid those mistakes.
I mean, it depends. I agree.
I may have made a mistake
it depends on the person.
I can't correct. Yeah, but I may have made a mistake that I can't correct for me. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just got to take that L.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you just got to take an L. So if I made a mistake where I just got to take that L, you know, I can't tell him the flip side of a success story, but I can tell you, little bro, look, come here. This is where I messed up at, doing the exact same thing that you about to do. Don't do that, because that is going to lead to this. I already know that. Trust me.
Some people like to follow some people you can give them advice because you've been through that, what they've been through, and some people are like stubborn or hard-headed and they want to find out for themselves. You can tell them, look, I've been through this. Girl, I done been down the road you've been down. I done did this. Didn't work out for me. And some people just hard-headed and they want to go through it, and they're like, I should have listened to you.
They were hard-headed. They think better than
you. Follow suit, and even sometimes you just got to know. It's some situations where you just got to automatically know, like, no. If at least 5 people telling you the same thing and you still decide to go, then that's on you. Yeah. It's on you. Because a lot of situations with relationships, it's a lot of situations that we all know, we've all been there, and it's been the same result. So if, he or she going to a couple different people and they pretty much getting the same, because certain things is just always the same ending result, and you still decide to go with it, then, you a fool. That's it.
I think we're all fools in some aspect.
At some point in our life, yep.
Yeah, because even in relationships, you feel me? Like, how many times, I got sisters and I got a daughter. You feel me? I would never tell my sisters or my daughter to date a nigga that's selling drugs or in that streets. Do I have issues with niggas that sell drugs? That's a whole different story. I got some of my best friends, people I've been around my whole life, do what they do. It is what it is. But it's consequences that come with that. Jail, death. You feel me? So, and then with the jail part and that street life, sometimes, if you have a kid by them, they're not going to always be around for the kids. This is stuff we know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is facts. This is stuff we know. Just like Tanetta said, that some things that people just go through is always going to end in the same result. But what happens in our community? Females still keep going for them same type brothers.
Yeah.
And it's
that's why I think that thing that Cat Williams.
It's like a cycle.
Yeah, that's why.
It's a cycle.
Yeah, that's why I believe when Cat Williams did that thing when he was like, how if you 30-something years old, you still messing with, you still saying niggas ain't shit. It's just niggas you messing with and niggas you picking out. Something that you're doing. That's with anybody. When you pick the same type of person for years, and that almost 40, you realize that these people ain't shit that you picking. It's not them. It's you.
And we have
you have to figure out why you're attracting that type of person.
You could never have dealt with a street nigga before, though. That's my thing. You could never have dealt with a street nigga.
I learned that lesson very well.
But you know what happens when you deal with a street nigga. You feel me? And yet you still would jump, you know what I mean? And it's the same thing with dudes. You know what I mean? Dudes know when the female, like, I mean, y'all can't hide when a dude know that a female like to get around. You know what I mean? Like, dudes know. Dudes
your property.
You know what I mean? So, you look at bro, you be like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, females know. Y'all know it's some hoes out here. Let's be straight. It's just straight some hoes out here. So you like, bro, you know what I mean? You like, bro, don't fall in love with that hoe. That's community property. You know it. Do not catch feelings because you know she's going to creep on you and you're going to be mad and you're going to want to shoot somebody or do something to somebody when you already know that she's community property. And what this fool go do? He go still catch feelings with the community property. You feel me? I mean, it ain't even, because sometimes you can knock somebody up without having feelings for them, that, you know what I mean, even though it's sad to say. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm talking about he done fell in love with her. he done fell in love with community property, and then guess what happens? She still knows she's community property. She don't know she's yours, bro. You the only one that thinks she's yours, and now he's mad. You feel me? Like, you already know. Like, it happens over and over again. You know what I mean? It happens over and over again. It's like, when are we going to learn from our mistakes?
Exactly.
You feel me?
It's just, I mean, people, you know, like I said, you know who people are by the way they approach themselves to you, or present themselves to you, and you know that they ain't shit, and you still deal with them. It's at that point where I can't deal with you no longer because you just stupid. You chose that. I don't want to hear that because you chose that. Like, people do stuff and you choose to deal with stuff. If you choose to deal with stuff, whatever you get from that, that's what you get from that because you chose it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm gonna tell you a true story. This happened. This what? Sunday. You know, friend of mine. You know, and his girl. They was going through it. Right.
Mhm.
You feel me? I ain't gonna get on into it, but the details. But basically, what's going on is they are both going through something personally.
Mhm.
And individually, they're both going through something. And at the end of the day, they still have a little inconsistency in their relationship, in their own relationship. So what now is happening is that what they're going through, hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
That was the theme of the day Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's why when it was so funny when we came up with this topic, I'm like, damn. You feel me? I'm just put in this situation. You feel me? To where I talk to each one of them individually.
Yeah.
You feel me? I talked to her first, and I talked to him. You feel me? And tears, and you know, I'm talking about to where a point where tears were shed with each one. That's how much pain they're going through individually, and then it's affecting their relationship. You know what I mean? And my advice to both of them was, well, you can't help nobody if you can't help yourself.
Mhm.
I don't care how much you're screaming, y'all love each other. If you're not loving yourself first, you can't really actually love nobody else.
Amen.
You're asking your partner who's going through something. I'm talking to both. This is what I told both of them. You're asking your partner who's going through something, who's to fill a void within you that you have. So you can't fill that void for yourself, but your partner needs you to fill the void for them. Mm-hmm. It's not going. You can't do that. You feel me? Because you can't give what you don't have.
Mhm.
You feel me? And then you can't give expecting something back sometimes. Sometimes if you don't got it to give, you feel me, you just can't have it. You got to focus on yourself for a moment. And I didn't tell neither one of them to break up or leave each other.
Mhm.
My basic was like, focus, love yourself first. You feel me? Because until either one of y'all get y'all shit straight first, you feel me? Until y'all get y'all shit straight first, y'all can't be, it's never going to be a cohesive unit. You feel me? Any little thing that's going on in either one of y'all lives, y'all taking it out on each other. You feel me? There's no balance.
Right.
There's no balance. You feel me? And they both agree. So that's why when you say somebody can't come to because I've been there.
Mhm.
I've been in that exact position. You feel me? To where I'm at my lowest point, and everybody left. You feel me? Because basically, I pushed them away because I ain't had nothing to give them. How can I love y'all if I don't love me at this point because of what I'm going through? You know what I mean? I've been there. You know what I mean? I know that emotion. I know that feeling. I know that emptiness. You know what I mean? So, like, basically what I'm saying is it all goes on experience. So if I didn't experience that, I couldn't give them that.
Right.
You feel? Or I couldn't. More importantly, I couldn't identify it.
Exactly. I was about to say, it's the identification. It's to be able to relate to what they're going through and be able to show them that somebody else has been through that. Somebody else has either experienced it or even survived it. Right. You know, that's the biggest thing is that we as human beings, we don't want to be alone. I mean, at all, and no experience, and no, you know, not only just in relationship wise, but in no experience do we want to be alone. We want to be able to have a shared experience with someone to be able to say, you know what, I went through that too, or yes, you're not the only person who had to go through this. You know, we've all been there, that kind of thing. You know, and that's that's why a lot of people get depressed because they feel like they're alone. They feel like that nobody else understands what they're going through because they have some kind of special circumstance when you know, to tell the truth, I mean, you know, there's enough people out here. We've all, you know, somebody's been through it or we've all been through it or whatever the case may be. Somebody's been through what you're going through. You just need to hear it. You need to be able to understand that from that person. So that's what they're looking for.
And once they notice I identified what they was going through, that's when they broke. You know what I mean? That's when I could see it in their eyes immediately. That's when the voice start cracking. That's when the tears start flowing. You feel me? Because basically they ain't had nobody. Even though they both feel the same way, that's how crazy life works. They both feel the same way, sleep in the same bed, but can't communicate with each other about how they feel.
Yeah. Exactly, and like you said earlier, that's the usual breakdown is that communication. You know, if you can't talk to your spouse or to the person that you're in a relationship with, then you know you won't have anything. You have to be able to talk to that person. You have to be able to work things out, work things through. You know, with that person, it's good to have that third party or that tertiary party to go through as a kind of a sounding board or as a validation. But you also have to be able to talk to your partner to be able to ensure that you both are on the same page, or to understand that you're both on the same page, even when you think you're not. You know what I mean? So, like in their situation, they sound like they probably don't even realize that they're each going through the same emotions or the same struggles when. If they just talk to each other, they just gave each other the same information that they could give somebody else, that outside person. If they can just give that to each other, they might be able to make a connection and be able to start working things out.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap this show up. Canada, do you want to say last word? Yeah. It's 11:20. We got to kind of wind it down. I know we was talking, right? Kind of slow. It's a good conversation. That's what happens when you have good conversations. Shit go.
Right. It was a good topic. I definitely enjoyed myself. I appreciate you guys for having me. I hope to, talk to you guys.
Thank you for joining us. And you already know, anytime you want to join in, you see that topic, you be like, hey, I want to be on. Let me know.
Oh, yeah, no problem. And I'll share it when I see you post it. I'll just share it. That's okay.
If you want to be on before we post the topic, you can hit me up. Like, what's the topic for this week? I want to join in. Definitely, we have no problem. We love when we have guest hosts and people that come on that's not normally on the podcast come in and share their topics. It's been fun.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, so guys, you want to wrap it up how we do?
Yeah, let's go.
Go ahead, Clint. You up first.
Oh, y'all already know where y'all can check me at on my blog, personal website, akingstruth.com. Hit me up on Snapchat at The King's Truth, Twitter at eTrentonGroomey. You already know. You feel me? Just Google me. I'm everywhere.
Is J. Rose still on the line?
Yes, he is.
J. Rose, drop your info because we ain't hear your voice in a while. Go ahead.
Y'all already know where y'all can find me at. I'm very social, JRose609, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Google. Y'all already know. Send me some messages. Y'all ain't heard my voice in a couple of weeks, couple months actually. Tell me how much y'all miss me so I can come back. The return of J. Rowe will be back soon once I get done being all I can be over here. So, but yeah, y'all already know J. Rowe 609.
That sounds like a whole new show. That sounds like a show topic.
The return of J. Rowe. Exactly right. I know J. Rowe better be on the show on May 18th. I know he better be on the show that day.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's
All
my
right, we'll make
birthday.
it happen.
We gonna turn up. So I need you to be on that show. It's gonna be real fun and real. You know how I do. I'm petty, so we gonna have fun.
Oh yeah,
Willie,
definitely.
go ahead.
All right. Well, thanks again, Tanetta, for joining. Great hearing your voice, J-Ro. This is Willie Styles. Thank you, everyone, for joining the show. You can catch me at Willie Styles. That's STYLEZ. I'm at Willie Styles everywhere, IG, Facebook, Twitter. My website is williestyles.info. You get all my links over there. I'll let y'all in a minute.
Tanetta?
I'm Tanetta again. It was nice talking to y'all. Catch me on Facebook, Tanetta Blue, Instagram, Tanetta Nicole, Tanetta Tutus and things, and I look to hear from everyone soon.
All right. And you already know I am Sunny_D, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. You can find me at my blog, unreservedlyme.wordpress. No, in fact, I keep forgetting I changed it. I'm unreservedlyme.com. Check that out. I got shit on there. Check it out. Also, check out our website, gftradioshow.com. Check out our Facebook page, GFT Radio. Check out our YouTube. We're on SoundCloud. We're on iTunes. Where else are we? We're on Instagram and Twitter at GFT_radio. You can find us. We're everywhere. So thank you guys for joining tonight's show. Next week's going to be a hilarious topic. Y'all better call in. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real different, but it's going to be fun. So tune into that. Am I missing something? Oh, the walk. No, I gotta say, I gotta get go to outro with the walk. The walk, May 13th. The information is on the podcast Facebook page. The event is on that page. You can check all the information now if you want to donate, be a virtual walker, or come out if you live in the local area. You want to walk with me, fill out the information and come join the team. Thanks for the support thus far. Thank you for listening tonight and all our shows up until current. Clint?
You already know. Catch us in 7 days. And next week, I will mention Jordan Edwards.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that one.
Yeah, we got. I wanted to mention it tonight, but we got kind of still on the topic and we didn't do. But definitely next week, we're definitely going to talk about that one because yeah. Definitely.
Right.
So tune in. Huh?
I said, yep. That was good.
I don't know what you just said. I heard a bunch of tools moving. I don't know.
Catch y'all in 7 days, people.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
All right.
Sorry to interrupt your run. You're probably in the zone, but with Simply Right checking from Santander Bank, you can waive the monthly fee by completing one transaction each month. Click the banner or find out more at santanderbank.com/simple.
Qualifying transactions do not include fees, rebates, and adjustments posted by Santander. Santander Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Do you buy cottage cheese once a year and leave it in the back of your fridge? Stop that. Introducing Moona, cottage cheese that melts in your mouth and is way more exciting than Greek yogurt. Cottage cheese that's rich in protein with delicious pieces of fruit like blueberry, strawberry, and mango. Cottage cheese that comes in a snack cup and is so craveably delicious, it demands front-of-the-fridge real estate, if it even makes it to the fridge. Moona, the new way to cottage. MUUNA.com.